And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We're talking all the fallout, all the news coming out of WRC Kenya. Yeah, what a rally. The most exciting safari rally, I think, for a fair few years. Although that, was it 2023 with that rainstorm got fairly, I think it was 23, with the rainstorm got fairly exciting. Anyway, I digress. Let's check out all the interesting news and some coming out of WRC Kenya. So this is the top 10 standings. We'll get into that in a bit because, well, unusually, Toyota are very happy for Hyundai. Yeah, Toyota's technical director, this is from Dirtfish, Tom Fowler, he says there was far too much blue on Sunday's Safari Kenya podium, referring to the two Hyundai drivers. Now, after 4 years of, let's be fair, Yaris's absolutely dominating, well, at least two of the three steps, seeing Hyundai drivers at Neuville and Otanek and looking up at Elfyn Evans was tough for Fowler, but he took it in his stride. He said the picture's not quite as nice as in previous years, expecting him to kind of like vent on what was, let's be fair, one of the toughest rallies of the year, the toughest rallies of the year. He said, I've got to say congratulations to Hyundai. He said this was a great round of the championship, without a doubt, one of the most entertaining and action-packed rallies we've seen in years. And those guys really came back at us strong. He said the work they've done with their car, what we've seen in previous years on this event, gave them some serious pace, particularly on dry and rough stages, which put pressure on us for sure. Of course, they're our biggest rival, but every now and then, you have to admit, when you have been put on the spot, this is one of those times. And he said, I know what we had to do to make our car work, and how we had to work to take one step of the podium. To take two was a great achievement, but the victory is the victory, and maybe the reason why Hyundai did really well. This is from AG Rally on Facebook. And he kind of talks about Hyundai. It says Hyundai has shown up in Kenya with what was their old version of the i20 Rally N, not the new one that they had in Sweden. The one it had raced up to and including 2025 Rally Monte Carlo. The goal was to have a solid base to face the toughest rally with high chances of mechanical failures and reliability problems. This is one thing that has absolutely ruined Hyundai's rally chances at Safari, at the Kenya, WRC Kenya in the past. No, both at Neuville and Otanek, they suffered problems from their respective i20 rally runs, and Neuville commented after the race. He said, I think it was a good move to use the old specification of the i20 Rally 1 and not the updated one. However, once again, there are some small problems that always reoccur year after year, and that should have been solved. It's frustrating. There's a bit more on that story. But compared to Toyota, Hyundai had a lot more reliability problems, but still, to be fair to them, achieved that double podium. But in the meantime, the FIA has released a list of homologations with the jokers used by the WRC teams. And the 4 jokers used by Hyundai at the beginning of the year have been confirmed. 2 on the transmission and 2 on that suspension. So that is, that's not bad at all. Now let's quickly talk about Elfyn Evans. And this is again from AG Rally. What if, someone's posted, it was Elfyn Evans' year? And it looks like there's a chance. Absolutely there is. After the first 3 rounds of the season, Evans' stats say 2 wins, 1 second place. The driver who's won the most special stages. The driver who spent the most time in P1 during events. They put, it's no mystery that Evans was in trouble with the hybrid Rally 1 cars, 22 to 24. He said while he was faster with the WRC Plus cars, so much so that he lost 2 World Championships in Monza against OGA in 2020 and 2021. With the hybrid removed in January, all of Elfyn's speed seems to have come back out. And that's quite interesting because, let's be fair, since we've been doing this rally on YouTube, he has struggled, particularly in 2024. Now, in the past, he had a role on the DMAC team for tyre development. Could that experience have given him or them the edge in understanding the new hand-cooked tyres better than their current opponents, potentially? And they put in 2025, he's proved comfortable on all surfaces. In Kenya, he used his brain. He didn't take risks, knowing full well he'd got an advantage. He'd also had a pinch of luck that all champions have. So could this be his year? I think a lot of Elfyn Evans and Toyota fans are having their fingers crossed. But speaking of rookies now, WRC rookie nearly speechless, quite surreal. That's attributed, this is from Rally Journal, to Josh McErlean, who got to experience, as we say, one of the most demanding modern day editions of the Safari Rally. And arguably the most demanding rally of the year. and it offered extremely grueling conditions, and McErlean faced numerous challenges throughout the weekend. For example, midway through Friday, he did hold that 5th place. And then, the hole had formed above the exhaust pipe from the Irishman's car, causing smoke to enter the cockpit. McErlean and his co-pilot stopped to check the situation in case of a fire, losing, let's be fair, you're going to lose a lot of time. But on Saturday, his troubles continued in wet and muddy conditions. A mechanical failure occurred in the Irishman's car halfway through stage number 11, costing the pair nearly half an hour. And in the end, he managed to bring the car home, though. Yes, it was 10th overall, but considering all those issues and the fact that he brought the car home, which is one thing more that Taka Katsuta did, brilliant. He said it's been quite crazy, quite surreal. He summed up the weekend. He said, honestly, it's really nice to get to the finish, okay? We had our problems, but we persevered and made it through. And he's not previously competed at the top category in Kenya, as we know, but he knew exactly what to expect. He said, you come to Safari, expect these conditions. It's part of what it's about. Not only that, but the people and everyone involved, from the organisers to the teams. He's saying it's a huge effort to come out here and put a show on. And he was very happy for that. Gregor Monster, though it was a bit of a tough one, wasn't it? And yeah, he did well, didn't he? He did well. So Neuville has come back and said rallying is the toughest sport in the world after what was a brutal safari fight back for him. He reached the podium in Kenya, and this is the first time in his career he's reached that podium. But it didn't go without setbacks for Hyundai. He managed to place the two crews, as we know, him and Otanik, on that podium. But Elvan Evans still was the winner. And their weekend, as we know, as we've already discussed, it was very much far from perfect. I don't think, does anyone have a perfect weekend at rally? Even Elvan Evans, I don't think, did. But with all three of the teams encountering technical issues and various challenges, Neuville's car suffered a broken drive shaft already on that second stage. And on Friday, he was forced to carry out repairs on road sections due to a cooling issue. Hyundai debuted an updated version of their iRally 20, but let's be fair, they were like, no, we're not taking it to Safari, it's going to break. And despite Hyundai achieving their best ever result in Kenya, Neuville did not hesitate to speak his mind. He said, I think it was a good move, and that's to revert to the older spec car. He said, but nevertheless, again, some small issues which always come back year after year, it should have been solved. And he said, so that's frustrating, and I think we'll have a good debrief and talk about it with the team. And his week in Africa was eventful. The repair work on Friday, it ultimately led to the world champion suffering sunstroke and heat stroke and dehydration, which kept him up all night dealing with the effects. Wow, that's one thing I didn't know. But he pushed through and made it to the finish. And remember, on that podium. Now, at the end of the rally, he was rewarded with a stronger result. It was 3rd place overall. He scored 23 points, which was the same as Tanak in 2nd. He said, if we wouldn't have been rewarded for all that effort this weekend, I would have been really disappointed. But again, it shows that rallying is the toughest sport in the world, and maybe one of the toughest sports, motorsports in the world, and maybe one of the toughest sports in general. And I'm going to leave you with this is the points. Elvan Evans, top 10 rally points, got the 27 points from, WRC Kenya. Neuville with 23, the same as Tanak. Piari on 13, Monster on 12. Adrian Formo on 10. Gus Greensmith, the winner of WRC 2, didn't do too bad, but Josh McErlean all the way back down in 10th, and Jordan didn't do too bad as well, about 1 point for Josh McErlean. Well done. Sadly, a few issues for other people, but there we go. For example, Calais Rovenpera, that was just bad luck, wasn't it? So, if you want to see more, please give us a subscribe if you're not. If you are not subscribed, great. If you are, and you want to do a bit more, just clicking on this video is more than enough. As we always say, hit that like button and comment below. Let us know what you think about the WRC Kenya. But until then, stay safe, speak to you soon, and thank you very much for watching.